Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Life's a Fight. Obviously, the name of the show speaks for itself. Guys, you might have a fight mentally, physically, emotionally, inside the ring or outside of the ring. One way or another, guys, we're all going to go through a fight. This is going to be a weekly podcast. Guys, I'm excited for it. It's going to be full of energy, be full of obviously good people, good stories, and I can guarantee that you're going to take a lot from it. I'm here with my co-host, Aaron Mace. Mace, welcome.
How are you, my man?
I'm very good, my brother. What's happening?
Mate, we were meant to do this about 4 weeks ago, but you decided to...
That's right. Well, I got hit by a Josh Haddo car, hit for 6 over the top fence, mate. But we're back, baby, mate, and obviously we're excited, mate. You know, we've got a good line of guests obviously ready to go.
You came to me and you're at me. He's like, your energy is just infectious. But, Mace, we've got to do something. Mace, we've got to do something. Mace, we've got to do something. And I said, we can do something. We've got to find it right. And then we thought about it, and like a passion of ours is obviously boxing and fighting. Yep. And... I'm excited for it. But I'm really excited for it. I think we've got a lot of good guests. I think the show is going to predominantly be you doing a lot of interviews, but when it works, I can happily co-host.
Absolutely,
I can
mate.
be a 5'8".
Mate, we'll keep rolling with the punches, mate.
And I think this one's going to be a good one. We've got our first guest, a mutual friend of ours.
I'm excited. Let me tell you, he's a bloody handsome hunk of a man. He's a great mate of the both of ours. Lukey Jackson, mate, welcome.
Hey.
Yay!
Hey, boys, how are you?
And wait, can I say, he's the epitome of life's a fight.
You know what, guys? There's going to be so much that you guys at home will be able to take from this. So make sure you stick around to the end. Look, as we said, we know Lukey obviously like the back of our hand, and I guarantee you, obviously, some of you guys may know him from inside of the ring, but his story is extremely powerful. There's going to be so much that you guys are going to be able to take from this, but it's going to be able to hit the right strings, you know, and as a mate, knowing obviously what you've been through, you know, being knocked down, getting back up, you're a very honest person, you know, you speak from the heart, and mate, I'm so grateful, obviously, not only just to have you as a friend, but mate, you know, to have you here is obviously super special, mate, you know, so.
No, look, it's my pleasure, boys. I respect you boys a lot, and, you know, I think I met you both on a bender, to be actually fair. I was just thinking about how did I meet you guys, and I think it was both on a bender. And you know, like Macy, you've been on to me about to come and do a podcast with you for a while now, and things happen, and here we are.
It's amazing how it works. It's like, fuck, we'd been talking about it from the start. He's one of the first people I said, because I know his story, you know, and I was like, such a good story. I wanted it told right. It's amazing. And then this thing with Beery happened. I went, what perfect synergy for the three of us. Yeah. Not to be on a bender, but be on camera and tell a good story.
Yeah, that's it.
Stuff it.
So look, let's get straight into it, obviously, Lukey. You know, let's go right from the very, very start, mate. You know, Tell us a little bit about obviously yourself, Luke Jackson, your childhood, mate, your upbringing.
Well, my upbringing was very chaotic. At times it didn't feel like there was much love or safety there. I felt at times alone a lot, you know. I don't remember much when I was younger, but I remember being, you know, pushed out of the house, either running out of the house with my sisters, for whatever reason. I still don't know why we were running away, but and then, you know, being taken off my mum, being put in foster care, and then my dad taking me, them living with my dad, but then my dad met a new partner, Tracy. They're married, they're still together now, which I'm very good friends and got a good relationship with Tracy now. It's funny how life turns out, but at the time, you know, I was probably a troubled young kid that thought everyone was against me, and I probably didn't help myself at times. I grew up by myself, man, in the house, Dad's house, and he was living with Tracy, and I just fucking grew up there by myself pretty much from the age of 10, 11 years old until I moved out, really, you know. Yeah. So it was like that. All, you know, being around drugs. My mum, may she rest in peace, but she's the one that gave me drugs to start with, you know. Feeding me marijuana, and my sister had ADHD, so they used to be on dexamphetamine, so I'd be taking them. wagon school stealing, fucking just being a little rat.
You once told me a story about a friend of yours, and you said that you were lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
And I think you were telling me about like putting aerosol and into a bag, and just because you couldn't get hold of drugs and sucking that in. And
Yeah, man. Like, it's funny, you know, as you get older, you sort of try to forget a lot of things when you're younger. And, you know, like, I speak to my psych a lot about things, and I'm just trying to understand what went wrong at times. But yeah, I remember being there at school or at home and spraying, you know, perfume or deodorant into plastic bags, spraying it and then go and sucking it in, and you just feel like your brain was about to explode. You know, your lips would go dry, and you just like get this massive high for about 30 seconds, and you'd hear all these sounds, and then you'd sort of come back to it. And fuck, we was doing that a lot, man, when we couldn't get marijuana, you know, and it was ugly, bro.
What age did all this start?
This started when I was, probably 11, 12, 13 years old, you know. I left school I dropped out of school at the end of grade 7. I was a good student up until then. They used to get a pen license back then, and I got my pen license pretty quick, you know, so I thought it was pretty cool. But then once I started drugs, everything fell apart, man. My care factor for everything, I didn't care about no one. I just thought about the next fix, and, you know, when I say drugs, it was mainly marijuana, cigarettes, dexamphetamines, Valium. I remember my mum had this cupboards where you couldn't get into the food or couldn't get into the bowls in it. They had like this lock there, but then like you could get a chair and put the chair there and stand up onto above the microwave and undo the pill cupboard.
Yeah.
wow.
You know, so like it's like can't get food out, but we can get fucking pills and you know, all these things. So and acid trips and things like that. But then obviously, thankfully, I found the sport of boxing, and I cleaned my life up, man. I turned it all around until later on in life again.
I remember you said that saved your life. Like you had a friend who was, I think, went to school marijuana, but you were in the boxing gym.
Yeah.
And had you not been in boxing, you would be sitting here, big chance.
Yeah, like a dear friend of mine was killed outside his house where we used to hang around. He was stabbed and over a drug deal gone wrong, you know. Probably a couple $100 we're talking about, you know, like someone's life got taken for that, you know. He was stabbed to death, and, you know, I credit everything that I've done in my life to the sport of boxing, you know. And, you know, I've been in a position where it's taken everything from me. It's broke me down, but it's also given me everything too. You know, like I've made many mistakes in my life, but, you know, I've been able to give back through the sport of boxing. I've been to the jails in Risdon Prison in Tasmania to train the inmates in there, and, you know, I could be in there myself. You know, like it's one bad decision, one wrong decision. I've made plenty, Billy. You know, but you know, I'm all about owning it though. You know, owning my wrong decisions and wrong choices, and try to make amends of it.
On the topic of that, obviously your foster care, tell us a little bit about that. You know, as a kid, does it make you feel any different, or like how was it sort of growing up being a foster child? Was there bullying that was involved with it, or did it make you feel as an outsider? How did it sort of make you feel?
Yeah, look, I didn't realise how much it affected me until later on in life, but like I remember being in foster care and like ringing my mum or dad and asking when I can come home. You know, I loved my parents, man, and I still do. But like I loved my mum and dad. You know, there's pictures when I was little. I was always on my mum's lap, and you know, when I'd get sent away to foster care, as soon as I come back, I'd see my dad. I'd just start crying. You know, like I was a very emotional young kid, and I'm a very emotional man. But I just hid my emotions, man, through drugs and alcohol and a lot of bitterness. And, you know, I didn't realise how much my mum pushing me away would affect me later in life with women. You know, every woman that I've ever dated, I probably owe a big apology to, because I've never physically hurt a girl, but I've probably at times, pushed them away because that's what happened to me, and I didn't even realise I was doing it. You know,
That's big of you to say now, though, and to be able to
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm only all aware of this now because I'll be 40 in January, man, and life's a funny thing. It all comes back around, and some of the choices I've made and the decisions I've made and the way I've treated people, it's what happened to me as a kid, and what my mum did to me, I did to women, and and when I say what I did is just like pretend I don't care when I did care.
Yeah.
You know, like pretend I didn't care when I did care, and I was just like trying to see how far I could push this person away. And if I kept pushing them, would they stay? And unfortunately, you push someone enough, and they'll fucking go below. And that's a lesson I had to learn. And thankfully, I know not to do that anymore. Like I would argue with someone, and I would just not say anything for a week and live in the same house. I had no problems with that.
Yeah.
Because that's how I grew up. But now, if I have an argument with my girlfriend, like, give me 10 minutes and I'll say, look, I'm sorry, that was my fault, or she'll say, sorry, it was her fault, and we'll get over it.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I would not let it go. I couldn't let it go, bro.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't say anything. I'd just neglect.
And growing up through all that, obviously the drug addiction, your mum, the foster care, you obviously got into boxing at a young age. As a young kid, going through all of that, wouldn't say obviously if it was a troubled upbringing, but a bit of a colourful upbringing. Were you an angry kid? You obviously boxed, but were you quite violent outside of the ring?
Yeah, look, the funny thing is I thought I could fight. I was pretty reckless. I had no fear. I had no fear at all. I had no fear of the police, no fear of anyone, really. I'd fight a lot on the street. So until I started boxing that I realised that I couldn't fight as good as what I thought.
Yeah.
I think everyone says
lot,
that.
yeah.
It's like, oh, what? It's like, oh, shit. But I picked it up pretty quick, I went to a gym. I met a couple of guys, Chris and Nathan Polly, their names were, in Tasmania. I liked the way people looked at them, and I was craving attention as a kid. I had none from my parents. And I thought, fuck, that's pretty cool. And then I went along to the gym and I picked it up really quick, and within a couple of fights I was state champion, and within 10 fights I was going to the Commonwealth Games for Australia, and I won a bronze medal. So it took off really quick, and that was just the start.
Do you think quick success with it was a little bit detrimental later on at times?
Look, I don't think it was detrimental, because if anyone's seen me in the gym, they understand how hard I train.
Yeah.
But I think that I put too much pressure on myself. I remember I got the OAS scholarship after winning the bronze medal, and I moved to Canberra at the OAS, and that's when all my problems started. I remember was overseas in France and was at a place called INSEP. It's like an institute of sport in France, and I'm laying in the bed and I couldn't fucking breathe. I couldn't breathe, and I'm trying to catch my breath, and I couldn't catch my breath, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And this just started one night out of nowhere, and then I went to my coach, so I can't breathe, so they've done all these tests in France, sort of had asthma, and then when I sort of train, it would go away, but when I wasn't training, it was just in my head to the point where when I come back to Canberra, I'd be walking around Belconnen Shopping Centre, nearly having an anxiety attack, fucking not being able to breathe. And I'd go back to the doctor and I'd say, look, I keep going and I feel like I can't catch my breath. So they sort of didn't really say fucking anything, It was a bit of a letdown anyway. So I put up with that for another year, and then I thought about killing myself. It was so bad. I kept diaries all the way through my amateur career and professional career, and you read back through the diaries and it's like, fuck, I don't know how I made it,
That's insane.
I'd sit in the room, man, and like everyone would be out training, and after training I'd come back, I'd watch boxing. I'd just isolated myself, and the boys would be out having a bit of fun doing this, and I was just so, regimented on being an Olympic boxer. And we went to Samoa for the trials, and I had to fight a guy by the name of Paul Fleming. I'd beaten him 3 times before, pretty comfortable. And I get to Samoa, and then all of a sudden I go, what if I can't sleep because of the time change? And as soon as I
that's
said
in your
that,
head.
Yeah, you get
that's
in
in
your
my
head,
head.
bro.
And then you read the diary that I had. It's like I fucking couldn't sleep. It was there for like 7 days.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sleep. I was fucked. My body was fucked. And I was waking up like, I just like, felt like I'd sleep for 1 minute, wake up, and I was just fucked. And then I had 2 fights. I stopped both of the opponents, and I had to fight Paul in the final. And I'm like, you can do it, Luke. You know, you've done it before, and I've wrote in the diary. You know, you haven't had the best prep, but you can do it. You're gonna win. And then I come back after the fight, and I wrote, you lost. Your life's over. Like I lost by like 2 points or something.
What age were you here?
I was 23 or 4.
Because it's insane that you said that you thought about obviously harming yourself, whatever it may be. I want to touch on something. Obviously, you lost your mum. You know, do you mind obviously talking a bit about that?
Yeah. So my mum and I had a very strange relationship. I love my mum, but like there was times in our relationship where we didn't speak to each other for probably 5 or 6 years, you know. And it wasn't until I got older that I realised that she's never going to change. So I've got to change. So then I started to try to be the better person. And I seen her at a Christmas thing once, and I went and said hello to her. And we started talking, but then like the relationship got pretty toxic because every time she'd ring me, she'd just say, "Luke, can I get some money?" And would never ask how I was or anything like that. It was pretty toxic. So, but I'd just send the money, brother. Like I thought that's me being a good son. Yeah, Mum, what do you want? Send the money. And this would go on and on and on. And one day she's tried to ring, and she's rang, and I've answered the phone. Hey, Mum. She's like, Luke, can I get some money? I'm like, yeah, no worries. So I sent her the money. Anyway, I was having a nap. There was one stage where I was suffering really bad with my depression, and I was sleeping a lot through the day. And I wake up to a voice message from her saying, "You've let me down. You didn't put the fucking money in. How could you do that to me?" All this shit, like just abusing me on voicemail. And I just thought, fuck this, brother. Like, I'm not putting up with this. So I cut her off. I didn't answer the phone. I didn't speak to her for maybe 3 months. And then, like, she was very sick, bro. She had emphysema, and she was not doing well. And Katie kept going, "You got to speak to your mum, you got to speak to your mum." And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then she rang, and I answered the phone. And I said, "Hey, Mum." She's like, "Luke, can I get some money?" I said, "Mum, do you realise like, I haven't spoke to you in a while now, you know?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Do you know why?" And she's like, "Oh, no." And I said, "Well, every time you ring, you just ask for money, and it makes me feel really shit, you know. Like if that's all you want, just tell me, and I'll send you some money, and we can be done." And she's like, "No. I'm sorry, blah blah blah." And I said, "Okay, thanks for saying sorry." And I said, "I love you," and she said, "Love you," and so I sent her some money, and she sent me an emoji and that, and then the next day I was in Canberra, and I had this thing: if my nan rings, my dad rings, and my mum rings, I'd answer the phone.
Yeah.
If I wasn't having problems with them. So
So that list might change a little bit.
yeah. It's changed dramatically over the years. But never my nan. So I answered the phone. I said, "Hey, Mum." She's like, "Luke, can I get some money off?" And I go, "Fuck, did you not listen to anything I just said yesterday? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, literally, like, you're fucking doing my head in." And I hung the phone up. And then she fucking killed herself, didn't she? You know, she fucking OD'd on morphine.
Fuck.
So then I fucking get a call from my sister the next day because my sister found her and give her CPR because she was dead. And yeah, brother, that's the end of that. And then, fuck, I had a lot of guilt from that.
How did you overcome the guilt? Have you
I
overcome the guilt?
don't think I have, man. I don't think I have. You know, I don't think I have. And still, I was just angry, and you know, I flew down for the funeral, and I remember going in and seeing my mum in the coffin, and just thinking like, what the fuck has happened? Like, how did this happen? And, you know, I spoke at the funeral and my brothers and sisters are crying and I'm looking around, I'm thinking, why is everyone crying? I don't understand it. I didn't understand emotions, you know. And then, you know, we buried Mum and then I just was angry. Like I ended up getting charged for intimidation over a parking inspector because he gave me a ticket one day and I just fucking was in a bad mood and I said fuck off and he's mouthing off, so I followed him to his car and he comes in his car, so I tried to undo his door. And
It's like, was he still mouthing off?
nah. And then
You reckon it's not real
and then he
quick?
shut the door and I'm just tapping on the window saying get out of the car because he's mouthing off like an idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway, I shouldn't have done it.
No.
My fault, 100%. Anyway, so he's fucking took photos of me, reckoned I was punching the window. If I punched the window, I would have smashed it. Anyway, I got charged and found guilty of
Intimidation.
Yeah.
intimidation, put my head in the paper. It was just ugly, you know, and like I was just trying to fucking, just angry, jumping out of cars, trying to fight people over tooting the horn. I was very angry. Just didn't know how to show any other feeling. And it wasn't until a couple of years later, my dog Chevy, he got really sick and then he died, and that was, my missus had never seen me show any emotion other than anger, and I just fucking lost it, man. I cried my eyes out, and then I done a lot of mourning for my mum.
Yeah.
A lot of mourning from my childhood. I just was hiding it, man, for drugs, you know, for years and years, and it took my fucking best mate to die
For you to release.
for me to release everything. And now I'm a much better person because of it. I'm more understanding. I'm a better partner. I'm a better friend. I'm a, you know, God willing, I can be a father one day. I'm a better man because of it, because I understand people now better. I'm understanding emotions better. Like before, I'd be like, what are you crying for, Bella? Like, stop it. Like, I didn't see it, Bella. And that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of my relationships never worked before, because I had no compassion for people being upset.
We talk a lot about masks, having a mask, you know, not showing your emotion, acting like you're sweet when you're not. And that comes back obviously to addiction as well. You know, after you lost your mum, you did spiral obviously through your anger, but how were you through your own addiction?
When Mum died, I was pretty good for the addiction because that had all this happened when I was sober. So that's probably one of the hardest things that I've had to deal with is because I had no fucking mask to help me.
Yeah.
I just had to feel it. And that's when the healing started, right? Because, you know, I'd always fucked around with minor drugs as a kid. I say minor, fucking sniffing fucking deodorant and taking ecstasy and fucking trips and, you know.
He knows when it smelled nice.
The minor drugs. But cocaine, when I started boxing, I was relentless at it. So I'd be around a party and the boys would have a plate going around. I'd have maybe a beer or so, but they wouldn't even pass the plate to me because they know I would not even dare fucking put it in my body. It wasn't until after the Olympics that I come back home, and my girlfriend at the time, we were together for 5 or 6 years and she left me, and I couldn't see why. Now I can. So I hope you will.
All the best.
Yeah, all the best.
Applause.
Anyway, I just went out of control and said yes one day to the line of coke, and then I went on to abuse it for 10 fucking years.
Yeah.
My whole professional career, I was abusing cocaine.
Yeah.
Only my last fight that I was obviously right with it. And I would fucking abuse it, but like I would be so disciplined and train and be relentless in my pursuit to succeed. And as soon as the fight was over, I'd launch into a 3-4 day bender.
I think, and you see it in a lot of people that are highly successful, and people even like us that have that addictive personality, and they do whatever we do it to 100%.
Yeah.
So even like you at the moment, you're training people to 100%, but when you're consuming cocaine, it was to 100%.
Yeah.
Like you wanted to be world champ at it. Like
Like I just wanted to
blow yourself up.
Yeah, to see how much I could hurt myself and see how much I could stay awake for. If the drugs run out, I'd get more.
what a bad feeling. Look, and we've obviously, you said we all met on a bender, you know, and I want to bring this up. You know, look, some people at home might party, they might not, whatever it may be.
And you know, like, yeah, you're right. And like, this is me just understand, like, wanting people to understand. I've got no hard feelings about anyone that wants to do drugs or alcohol.
Not that we're promoting it. It's
No,
Yeah.
but like, I just want people to know my opinion on people doesn't change.
Yeah,
whatever
no.
you do.
Yeah.
Like, my missus drinks. She doesn't do drugs, but if she did, like, so be it, brother. Like,
Yeah.
That's her decision.
that's her decision, brother.
Yeah.
I wish I could go out and have a couple of drinks and a fucking couple of lines of Coke or whatever and go home like the rest
Yeah.
of people, but I can't.
Yeah.
If I open a bag of lollies, I'll eat the whole fucking bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm just all in sort of person, and
Yeah.
if I'm like that, I've got to pull my head in, brother. Like,
You've got to put it towards positive. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to train for a fight, you train for a fight.
yeah, you know, and if someone can go out and do whatever they want to do and not let it affect their life, then good on them. For me, it destroyed me, so I had to stop.
You know, people say this, well, it's when you drink, you're just borrowing happiness from the next day, you know, but realistically, you know, you might think, oh, fuck it, getting on it is so good. Mate, think about the bad times. Like, let's dive back to some of the benders that we have, right? So you'd be sitting around the, you know, we all think, fuck, how mad, what is a bender, whatnot. What are the times, mate, when you'd go to the toilet, right? You'd go to the toilet. Tell some of the people about, you know, how you'd feel, you know.
So my nose is fucked, right? It's been broken that many times. So I have a couple of lines and it's blocked, right? But I had ways to unblock it, brother. Like, I was like, I would fucking get the Coke up there somehow, like, relentless. Anyway, so I used to get this saline stuff and you put these sachets in and you mix it and then you squeeze up your nose and come out the other side. It was fucking mental. But anyway, you got to do what you got to do, right? So I was at my mate's house and his dad's house and blah, blah, blah. So we're there and... and my nose was fucked. I've been away for days, right? And he had one of these things. So I'm like, I'm going to fucking clean my nose out. And I'm like in the bathroom, I'm cleaning it out. And I'm thinking, these cunts are talking about me.
Sleep deprivation.
My best mate and his fucking old man are talking about me. They're saying, this in my head I had, that they're saying, don't give him any more. He's fucked. That's what, and then I'm thinking, I'm not, like, these cunts talking about me. I'm not fucked. I can still go, cunt. Like, what's wrong with you? So then I'll fix my nose up. I walk out and I'm looking at them. They're off their head, brother. They don't even know that I'm in the fucking bathroom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, looking at them, going, oh, so now you're holding out on me. You're just stashing it on me or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, your head just goes. Or your two best mates are here. You go to the bathroom and you go, fuck. They're talking about me.
Yeah.
The boys are talking about it. They're saying I'm off my head.
Yeah.
They're saying I'm off my head. So, and then I come back and I look at them and go, "You all right, brother?" Yeah, brother.
And they're probably all locked up looking at you like, and you're thinking, no, this cunt's got a problem with me, but he probably just can't get a word out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's
Everyone's
fine.
going, he's thinking about how I'm looking, and it's just like...
Just passing the
not
plate.
easy.
You know, and like you think, fucking mate, you know, how good would one more bender be? But you think about it, the benders we get on, you've got maybe one person's locked up, can't talk, another person's think.
I know where that is.
Yeah. someone's talking, another person's there by the blind saying, look at that car. It's coppers. No, but it's probably, you know, where it could be anything. But coming from that lifestyle now, and I know you obviously don't throw stones at glass houses, but you're living the sober life. You know, people think, the sober life's perfect. Tell us a bit about, obviously, your sobriety now.
Well, I'm 3.5 years sober. I said I'd do a year. Then I said, fuck, it's been a good year. I'll do another year. And then I go, I'll do 1,000 days. And then I said, fuck, I've done 1,000 days. I might as well do 3 years. And then I go, fuck, I might as well do 4 years. So I'm coming up to 4 years. And now I'm at the stage where I don't
have
know.
one.
Yeah. Constantly. Constantly.
I want you to talk about concept. Like, so I'm 11 weeks into being sober, and we've spoken about it.
Yep.
And I said to you, for me at the moment with my brain, it's like the movie Limitless, except instead of taking a drug, I'm not taking a drug, and it's actually working.
Yeah.
And it's clear. And everyone talks. Another mate, Bro Champion, a good mate of ours.
Yeah.
He was the same thing.
Good bloke.
He goes,
Shout out, Champo.
shout out.
We love you, brother.
Good bloke.
And he said to me, he goes, wait, do you feel the clarity? And he goes, it's the consistent. And I know I've had those urges, even, and it's the little head games of, you know what, you've earned it.
Yeah.
You've earned it.
earned
Yeah,
it.
you know
You
what, I can
deserve
just
it.
have one. I deserve it.
And I say this to Katie, I say, listen, like, if I do it, I'm going to end up on the balcony the next day by myself smoking a pack of fucking cigarettes, and she's going to be coming in saying,
Enough's enough.
enough's enough. And I'm going to be saying, I fucking deserve this. I've been sober for 3.5 years. I'm allowed to do this.
Yeah.
And I already know that. So then when I feel like I tell myself that story and I get fucking sick thinking about it. It's like, you fucking scumbag, shut up.
And you know what I found? When you do beat that urge, that's why I heard someone talk about it, said that you get that power of I beat it in myself, and it's that little bit of invincibility inside.
And it's funny, you know, because I don't want to fucking stop fighting. And I was speaking to my psych about it, and they've put it down to the point that my identity is boxing. So when I'm in a training camp, I'm the happiest version of myself. And I've thought about why, and he thought about why, and he's like, well, because everything's about you. Everything is about you. Everyone's there to help you. You know, your trainer, your friends are buying tickets, your partner's there supporting you. Everyone's checking in on your coaches, your physios, your nutritionists, the promoter, the sponsors. They're all there for you.
It's a Luke show.
Yes, Bella. It's a Luke fucking show. And I like that because I didn't have it as a kid. I didn't have that fucking that attention. So that's what I'm missing, Bella. So then I also have that same feeling with my sobriety now. So I feel like getting on a bender sometimes, or not even a bender, Bella. I feel like going and having a glass of wine or a beer with my missus at dinner. But then I go, I don't want to let go of that sobriety, Luke Jackson, that identity. Oh, Luke's a sobriety, Luke's sober, Luke's this, Luke's 4 years, Luke's that. Fuck, no one cares, Bella. It's me that cares, right? Like, if I win or lose a fight, you guys don't give a fuck. You still love me. Because I know if you fucking lost a fight, I don't give a fuck, Bella. Like, but in your head, Bella, when I lost, I was a piece of shit. I'm fucking shit, Bella. I am shit. I'm nothing. So I feel like that with my sobriety now. And I've got to overcome that because am I trying to fucking stay sober for other people or am I trying to stay sober for myself, Bella? Do you know what I mean? Like, am I trying to say, oh, Luke Jackson, he's sober. Or, like, fuck everyone else, Bella. Like, it's about me. If I feel like going and having a drink, Bella, and go and have a fucking bag of cocaine.
That's right.
Go and do it, Bella. Just don't fuck your life up.
That's exactly right.
Just don't fuck your life up. Don't be an asshole to your missus. Don't be a liar to your friends. If you're doing something, just fucking be honest with them. Don't not show up to work. Don't fucking blow your money. Don't redraw $60,000 out of my home loan. I paid it off after the friend of fight and slowly redrawed the whole lot off and fucking put up my nose and every other fucker's nose, you know? Like, if that's happening, it's a problem.
Oh, massively. In that last sentence, you mentioned Katie, boxing and sobriety. And I want to just go back to something. I want you guys to bring this clip up because you said something, obviously, when I was watching it, mate, live, I thought it was the best thing ever. After your fight, you spoke about Katie. You said, oh, it's so good to be back. Obviously, when you had that last fight with Tyson Lantry. And it was a great fight. You know, I'm mates with Tyson. He's always a great bloke. And obviously, it was a great fight. But you said, oh, mate, I just encourage, you know, anyone, you know, just to life's a fight, you know, and you spoke about the best thing I've ever done was obviously get sober and find a good girl. So for anyone to go back there and find yourself a good girl, but not my girl, mate.
Stay away from mine.
Not mine.
Any girl, find any girl.
But I want to ask about her.
Yeah.
How important is it to have a supportive partner through that journey, like of where you are now?
Bella, she's everything.
Yeah.
I met this girl 1 month when I was sober. And I'm not the type of guy that goes up to women ever, you know. And I seen her there at the Run Club 440.
Yeah.
And she was standing there and a friend of mine was standing next to her. So I went up and I said, hey, I'm Luke, what's your name? She's like, oh, my name's Katie. I'm like, oh, yeah, what do you do? She's like, oh, I'm a yoga teacher. I'm like, oh, well, I need to do some yoga.
Of course you do.
And then we started talking, and she was just gorgeous, you know. And I said, where do you work? She's like, self. So I got the Instagram up. I'm like, looking. I said, is that it? She's like, yeah, that's it. So then I get in the car. I said, see you later. I get in the car and I'm going through this fucking page, but I'm trying to find her name. And I go, yes, I found it. Bang, added up. I had to go to Adelaide for a for a coaching thing to train the next generation of boxers out of Adelaide, and I was there and I was doing some training there as well, and she reacted to my story, all right, and then then she goes, I want to do some boxing. I'm like, yep, easy, let's do it. And then I said I'll train her when I get back. So, and like, this is a big call, but the first day I trained her, and don't ask me how, the first day I trained her, I knew there was something there.
Had you already searched for her at this stage? Like, so you had already searched for her?
Yeah, I found her, and so I added her, and then she reacted to my story when I was in Adelaide.
Yeah.
And then I come back and trained her, and then we were just friends, and I liked her. I liked her, and I was very consistent. I'm very consistent, fella.
Tenacity, full of
Fella,
it.
full of tenacity and consistency. And I was relentless, fella.
Yeah.
Like, relentless. And nice. Right? Anyway, about a month or so into our friendship, it just happened that we slept together.
Take us into it.
Well, you know, there was, it was amazing. I fell in love with her the first night I slept with her.
Yeah.
The first night I slept with her, I fell in love with her.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I just told her how I felt, and I was very open, and I just said, you know that saying, treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen?
Yep.
Is bullshit. Boys, young boys out there, don't do it. It's rubbish, don't do it. If you like someone, be upfront, be honest. Tell them. If they don't like you that way, then so be it. But that's how I was, and you know, we started slow, and then COVID hit again, and we got locked down together in the house. I had my appendix out, so she wanted to come over and look after me, and that was that, Bella. Here we are, 4 years later, nearly 3.5. Yeah, we're together 3 and a bit years, and I used to laugh at people that said behind every strong man is a good woman, you know, and I'd like, fuck off, mate. Like, it's wrong with you fuckers. Like, but it's true, bro. Like, I owe a lot to that girl, and don't get me wrong, it's a two-way street. But
definitely,
I'm used to it being a one-way street.
Yeah.
And she brings a lot of, she brings a lot of love to me and calmness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to myself sometimes that, like, you got to remind yourself how lucky I am, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a very lucky man. And, you know, as human beings, we can take it for granted at times.
Yeah.
But it's not until I look back and, like, I'll look at it and I'll go, fucking hell, you know? You done well, mate, you know?
You know, we talk. Look, you're obviously a great mate of both of ours, you know, and on a personal level, obviously we've spoke about your mind is your biggest enemy, you know, and sometimes, you know, you may have had self-doubt or anything like that. You know, you've said what a beautiful person both inside and out is, you know, and obviously going through sobriety, your own struggles. How did you obviously... Do you find that balance, obviously, in that relationship, and would it ever affect you mentally with your relationship?
You know, so I had, it's funny you bring that up. I had a thing where I didn't believe it. I was like, how is this so perfect? Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, something is wrong. So what I did then is try to sabotage it.
Yeah.
I tried
Back
to break
the old tricks.
I tried to break the relationship. Self-sabotage. I'm the king at it, right?
Yeah.
Destroy myself or destroy anything. This is too good to be true. I'm going to fuck it up. And she was very calm with me, and she sort of understood me probably more than what I understood myself. And you know, there was a lot of testing times in our relationship, but love has always stayed the same. And like at one stage, like she's like sat me down. She's like, "Do you even fucking know why I'm with you?
Yeah.
Do you even know why I fell in love with you, Luke?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "You want me to tell you?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "'Cause you were fucking nice to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
'Cause you were nice to me. No other guy's ever been nice to me like you have."
Yeah.
And fuck, mate, like that hit home.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, because like I've always been insecure. A lot of people wouldn't think that Olympic boxer, professional boxer, could be insecure. I'm insecure because my fucking mother didn't want me.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I've got the neglect issues, right? So then I like, I'm sick in the head, brother. Like, I'll look, I was like, her ex-boyfriend, what does he look like? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not that good. Or
Yeah.
and I think that the only way I can fix it, I'll smash him because I know I'll bash his head in.
You
So
get
I'm
in your own head,
that's what
yeah.
I'm going to do. I'm going to break his jaw.
Yeah.
Which I won't do but in my head I'm saying that I'm going
That's
to
the
do
battle.
it. That's
Yeah,
the battle. I'm not good enough. The way I'm going to be better than him is by bashing him.
Yeah.
Like, come on, brother, this guy doesn't even think about me.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's in my head. He's not thinking about me.
It's like the coke brain.
Yeah.
again.
He's happy, brother. He's happy
Yeah.
doing his own thing, you know. Like,
Yeah.
and this is all about growth and learning and understanding and just realizing that she wants me, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, she doesn't want her ex or the other guy, and this is something that I had to understand, and you know, it's still a battle, brother. Like, fuck, I think we've all got insecurities,
Absolutely.
and fuck, that was one of them, man. Like, I was just like, I look at her, I'm like, what does she see in me? Like, why does she want to be with me? Like, I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. You know, but like, I am good enough.
You are.
Yeah.
I am good enough. She's good enough. We're good enough together. We've got a great life, and you know, like, just try not to compete with other people, man. Be yourself,
So
and
true.
you know, fuck, the right person will come.
That there in itself, you know, is growth. You know, I've seen your growth, but people obviously listening to you can see your growth. Whereas years ago, you would have gone and just wanted to smash the ex's jaw, you know, and maybe when you've argued, you would have gone and self-sabotage. That would have, ruined your relationship.
Yeah, man. Like, I know, Bella. I'm very good at doing research, Bella.
Yeah.
I know everyone. And
Yeah.
I know what they look like. And I've
Yeah.
even been in a stage where I've drove the car and I thought I seen it and I've turned around, I'm like, stopped, and I'm thinking, I'm going to
Yeah.
get out and bash this bloke. So what do? Go up and just hit this bloke for no reason. And he's
Yeah.
like, who the fuck are you, lad?
Yeah.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
you was fucking dating my
Yeah.
missus 5 years ago, lad.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense, but these are the games I play in my head, brother.
Yeah.
And then, like, when Chevy died and Mum died and my nan just passed away, may she rest in peace, to not go and self-sabotage on drugs and alcohol,
Growth.
just to feel it. Feel it here and understand why it's there. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Speak it out.
And that's Lukey, that's all work that you obviously do within yourself. And one thing I commend you for, man, you own your mistakes, you know?
Yeah, bro.
You just mentioning owning your mistakes there, but both inside and outside of the ring, you know? You obviously talk about some of mistakes, whether they be inside or outside or anything that you want to talk about.
Yeah, like, I've done many stupid things as a young kid, and I've been caught drink driving a couple of times when I was younger, and, you know, I've actually got a court case going on at the minute, you know, that I've got it's within the courts at the moment, so I can't really speak much on it, but, like, it's just a stupid situation that I've put myself into, and these are just things that, for one reason or another, seem to happen at a certain point in your time, in your life. Not all bad people, or not all people that go to jail are bad, and it happens, brother. People get in trouble. They make mistakes. It's about making a mistake and then fixing it. You know, like, if you
Learning.
continue to do the same thing, then it's not really a mistake, is it? But, you know, I just, I've made mistakes and I've learnt who's real and who's not. I mean, I've done some stupid things in my life. I've never physically, you know, hit a woman or raped anyone or done anything like that, but I've made stupid decisions, brother.
Yeah.
You know, and these are things that I've got to deal with. Like, I'm the one that has to deal with it, you know, and I've got to take it on the chin and own it. If I could not do it again, then I would, obviously, but life is a funny way of fucking telling you to pull your fucking head in, right?
Doesn't it?
Fucking
What?
hell.
Talk about, you mentioned obviously Chevy's death. Talk a little bit about that.
Fuck, mate, this dog, that's him there. He was 13 and a half when he died. I got a lot of guilt from that as well, because when he got sick, he just started pissing blood one day, and I took him to the vet, and I just wanted him fixed. Like, I didn't think anything of it. And then they said, oh, it's this, it's that, he's got a blood disorder, he's got no platelets. I'm like, what the fuck are platelets? Like, just fix my dog, Bill. And then, like, oh, you got to pay this money, pay that money. I said, whatever, pay it. Ended up costing about 60 grand. All right, and he was fucked, man. Like, if I could do the time again, I wouldn't have put him through it. But I just listened to what the vet was saying, and I didn't want this dog to go. I wasn't ready, you know. And I said a prayer. I said, "Dear Lord, let me take Chevy home, love him, and show him how much I care for him for 2 weeks. If he's got to go, then he's got to go."
Yeah.
Anyway, he got better. I took him home for 2 weeks. He slept on the ground. I had to wake up every 4 hours and roll him over because he couldn't walk, the poor thing. They said he was going to get better, slowly but surely. But and then I had to go pay the rest of the bill, so I took him with me to the vet. And he was just a bit flat that day. And the lady at the vet said, "How long has he been like that?" And I said, "Just today." So they had a look and said, "Oh, he's got to stay in overnight." The next day I went and checked on him. She's like, "Oh yeah, the vet's coming in soon. He looks all right." So I went to Haven Cafe in Rosebery, ordered some toast and a coffee. The toast hadn't even come out, hit the table, and I got a call saying, "You better come back around." I walked in to the vet, and they said he's just stopped breathing as I got there. So I ran over to him, and I'm fucking looking at him. I'm like trying to like wake him, and then his heart stopped. And I'll tell you what, man, it was fucking single-handedly the worst thing I've ever had to deal with.
Yeah.
In the 2 weeks prior to that, when he was sick, couldn't sleep, and then then I picked him up, took him home, wanted to show the other dog that he'd passed away. So I laid him down, and the other dog's there, like, looking at him, and I just lay with him for a bit, and then he got real stiff, man. They get real stiff, and like, I'd never seen that or fucking understood that. So then I'm like, fuck, he's stiff, and then it's like he died again on me, you know, like I'm just like, fuck. And then I rang the people to come and get him to burn his little body to get his ashes, and then I carried him down in the blanket that he was in and put him in the back of the van, and it was hard, man. I had that dog for 13 and a half years, and I thought that many times about killing myself on benders.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill myself, but I look at that dog and go, I'm not going to do it because of that dog. I've got to feed that dog.
Yeah.
And then I'd sleep for days, and he'd sleep with me.
Yeah.
He's always there. It's like that dog saved my life.
Guardian angel.
Yeah, Bella, and I'm just like, the fuck, man. And then, like, I just was sleeping a lot after that. I was fucked, literally fucked, boys. And I'd cry every day. I'd drive past the vet, I'd cry. I was fucking a mess, man.
Yeah.
Like a fucking mess. And then, like, Katie woke me up one day, and I look, as soon as I opened my eyes, I go, he's here, isn't he? And they brought his ashes back, and then I fucking lost it again. Yeah. It's like, fuck. It was just like, mate. And then, yeah.
You mentioned it was the hardest thing you've ever had to deal with. That obviously comes down to your mental health. So when that's the case, your mental health would have been struggling.
Yeah.
How do you overcome that? And what advice would you give to anyone at home that is struggling with their mental health?
How do I overcome it? I don't think I have overcome it. I've just learned to live a little bit better with it.
Yeah.
There's days where I cry, and I actually like crying when I think of him because I feel close to him.
Yeah.
When I'm crying, I feel like this connection to him. It's a beautiful feeling that I would never trade for anything.
Yeah. Therapeutic.
It's so therapeutic, man. Like, I can't believe how good. It's sad as fuck.
Yeah.
But how beautiful is it to love something that much that it makes you fucking cry? It's like, nice. Wow. Yeah. So just I don't think I've gotten over it. I feel that I've just learned to manage life with it and try to remember the good times and not when he was really sick, which is hard. I was not ready to get another dog, but I rang the people I got Chevy off and said, I'm not ready yet, but maybe one day I would like to get one that's related to Chevy. And she's like, well, I've just had a little boy. If you want to come have a look. I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I can. Send a photo. So this was about a year after Chevy passed. And so I said, all right. So we drove 7 hours to Port Macquarie or something.
Yeah.
It was 4 hours up, 4 hours back. And I still wasn't sure if I was going to get this little dog. And I walked in and he was there and she passed him to me and I just fucking bawled my eyes out. Just cried and he's licking my face and he's like so happy to see me and I'm crying and it had a piece of Chevy in him, like he was related to Chevy. And his name's Rocky.
What a great name.
Yeah. And he is such a beautiful soul, this little dog. Fuck.
You've got him now?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got him now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got him now.
good.
I remember when you like posted it and you said, looking, because I had a dog, his name's Muscles, and he was a Jack Russell cross Basenji. It's a similar colouring. So for me, it was like, fuck.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
my best mate. And I remember when I went through what I went through and then coming home to him, like that was one of the best things. And just having him feel me again for the first time in a couple of years was insane.
Yeah, bro. So I've got little Rocky now, and I tell you what, Jack Russell pups are the naughtiest dogs.
Yeah.
I forgot how naughty they are.
I reckon
They bite?
we're related to him.
They're so naughty.
You know, I'll tell you a story. When I was young, I actually got bit on the knee by a Jack Russell. I would have been about 8. I remember just spinning around, and this little dog was just on my knee. So yeah, I love Jack Russells.
Yeah, I've had a Jack Russell majority of my life. I had one when I was a kid, and then I had Chevy, and then now Rocky. So, you know, he'll never replace Chevy, but he's there's something special about the first dog you get after losing your soul dog. You know, they've got a big responsibility, and he's handling it well. He's
doing a good job.
It's like he knows, man. Like I swear to God. I don't get emotional over many things, but losing my dog was the hardest thing ever, and it's made me a better man. I'll go around, like if I see someone upset now, I'll go and give them a cuddle. I don't even know them, but like I'm just a better man because of it. And the way I've got through all my whole life is through exercise. I train every day, or walk, do something physical, and speak to people. I speak to a psychiatrist. I speak to a psychologist. I'm medicated. I've got severe OCD. I've got ADHD, which I'm medicated for. I understand some people don't want to take medication. That's fine, but like I've spoke to my therapist about like, because I've got a lot of childhood trauma that I've got to try to overcome, and it takes a lot of therapy, man. Like you got to be religiously fucking on it, like
It's a lot of work.
couple of days a week for fucking years, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a pill won't just fix it. You got to do the work, and fuck, it's been hard, man. At times, I tell you.
Yeah, wow. All right. I want to move to boxing. I want to move to boxing in Australia. I want to talk about probably your more recent career. Where do you think it's at? Because when I think of the names, obviously we've got the Zoo Boys, we've got Opataya.
Yeah.
Like we've got a couple of big names in Aussie boxing
Georgie
right now. Georgie Cambosis.
Yep.
Where's your career at, and where do you think Australian boxing's at? Because I know you got some things to say about it.
I think Australian boxing's in good hands, brother. We've got Jai Patia. I went to Olympics with Jai as his captain, and I said when he was 17 years old he was going to be a world champion.
Yeah.
I've shared the ring with George Cambosis many times as an amateur. All these guys I've either fought or beat. Disappointing that I didn't get some opportunities that I definitely feel I should have. There's only like a handful of people in Australia that can train full time and not have to worry about going to work, and I'm not one of them. You know, I always sell well. My fight on the No Limit show, I sold, between the two fights, about 90k worth of tickets. The first fight I got paid $5,000. The second fight I got paid $5,000 plus a $3,000 bonus. Constantly asked for a fucking title or 8-rounder or something that I'd sell for, and it never happened, but it never come to the party for me. It fucking frustrated me. But then I see other guys getting the same better opportunities than me, and they haven't done much in the sport, with all due respect.
Yeah.
And this is just me talking straight facts now. You know, and I wish everyone well.
I know you do.
You know, and I'm fucking proud of everyone that has a crack. But I just feel it's either the ones that have got the money, backing are here, and the ones that don't, that are just as good, if not better fighters, don't get the same opportunity because for whatever reason they're not promoted by the right people. It comes back to, you know, what their manager's doing for them as well. But my job now, I'd like to have one more fight on maybe Ricky Colosimo's show. He's a good young promoter. He says he'd get me an IBO regional title. So if I do that, that'll be in maybe February or March.
That'll be exciting. We'll be there.
Yeah, maybe super lightweight, 63 kilos, 63 and a half. So that's an option. But I've also got a couple of young fighters I deal with that I'm training. Marlon Savon.
He's a weapon, eh?
80 kilo. Boy, he's got state titles this week. I just recently got him a good sponsor deal. Got him $1,000 a month cash to his bank account. So some food, some physio people that are looking after and doing his strength training. I got him some new winnings gear, about $5,000 worth of winnings, head guard, gloves, and groin guard. The kid deserves it, mate. And he just needs someone to support him and back him. And the kid can go all the way to the top. Trust me. He's a machine. He's just got to believe in himself. And then I've got my beautiful girlfriend Katie. She fights tomorrow. She's got state titles. She's got a tough fight against a lady by the name of Eve Bryson.
Yep.
She's very good and just a good person.
Yeah.
First and foremost, good fighter. I respect her a lot. She's trained by Tyson Lantry. I like Tyson. We've got a big history. Yeah, like there was animosity there because I just wanted the rematch, brother. And they were asking for crazy money and it just pissed me off. But Tyson was only getting directed by people behind him.
Yeah.
So Tyson's a good person, brother.
Great person, yeah.
I've always said that. We go way back, brother, me and him, way back. So Katie's got a tough fight against her for the state title, straight into the final, 60 kilos. She won the 57 last year. So we've got a big weekend, but, for me, I don't know, man. I've had a big career. I've had 115 amateur fights and 25 professional fights, Olympic Games, Commonwealth Games, World Championships, fought for a world title, 1 Australian title, regional titles, 6-time Australian champion as an amateur, beat some of the best in Australia, George Gimbosis, Valentine Ball, Paul Fleming, Joel Brunker, Mark Pavinsky,
The list goes on.
The list goes on, and beat some credible guys from overseas as well. And like I won. I've done more than what I ever dreamed of. But there's always that one more, right? We're never happy, brother. It's like a bender. Right?
You took the words out of my.
So this is the way I look at it. So you go on a bender, right? And you go, okay, you've had one big night. And you've had a cracking night. It's been really good.
Yeah.
So there's a moment in that bender where you go, everyone's gone home. I could go home now and go to bed, and it would be a fucking good night.
Yeah.
That's where my career's at.
Yep.
All right now. Or you go, nah, I want to do more, and you go and get more drugs, and then before you know it, it's 3 days deep. You haven't slept. You haven't gone to work. You've neglected all phone calls from everyone. You're in fucking debt up to $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah.
And you feel like killing yourself, and it's just gone too far. And then that paranoid, you can't sleep.
This next fight sounds good.
That's what continuing
that's
boxing
the
is
mental
like, right? So you've got to be smart. And do you get that extra bag?
It's true.
Or do you stop?
It's good advice, and on that, look, you're obviously boxing resume is massive, and you've talked about the support, and how much of an impact everyone getting behind Australian boxers obviously is helping. What advice would you have to any up-and-coming boxers?
My advice to any up-and-coming boxers would be to make sure that you really want to do this. Because if everyone asks what's it take to be an Olympic boxer, well, it takes everything you've got and more, it takes everything. And you got to have a good team behind you. You got to have someone that's going to fucking fight tooth and nail to get what you want and what they think is fair and you think is fair. And a good coach. You need a good coach behind you. Someone's going to protect you, not fucking just feed you to the wolves and
manager.
And get fucking hurt,
It's a single man sport in the way of you're in the ring and it's 1-on-1, but as you just said, it's a team. Like people see the person in the ring, but you need a good cut man. You need a good coach.
Yeah, you need someone that's out there. Like if you're my manager, I know you're going to go out there and fight for the best deal for me.
Yeah. So
Like-
you can focus on what you need
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Fight.
Like that's what I'm trying to do for Marlon.
Yeah.
Getting him sponsors so he can try and just got him brand new gloves.
Yeah.
Got him fucking this, get him that. You know, like I want him to do well.
What-
And
What's the most fulfilling thing that you do right now?
the most fulfilling thing that I do right now would be seeing the success of the fighters that I train.
Yeah. I
You
love
know,
that.
when Marlon sees the success that he's getting, and you know, seeing his face when he opened the box of the new winnings
Yeah.
gloves, he was so happy. You know, and getting him deals, and you know, when Katie wins her fights and Marlon wins his fights, it's
Yeah,
very
special.
rewarding, Bella. Very, very rewarding. You know, so.
Tell me about that feeling. Obviously, you know what the feeling's like winning a fight after, but obviously being a coach, how are you comparing the feeling within yourself?
It's hard. It's hard. There's nothing like fighting.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. But at least when I fight, I'm in control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm training Katie, oh my God, I love that girl to death. But like Marlon, right? Marlon's there. Any other fighter, I say, oh, look, keep your hands up. Keep your fucking hands up. Yeah, I go, Katie, keep your hands. He goes, they're up. I say, babe.
I can just imagine her at home now listening to this.
So, babe,
And then
wait.
we're up.
I say, don't back chat me.
Yeah. You know what it's like? You see like the husband and wife the husband's teaching the wife to drive or something like that. They're like, and you just can't do it.
No,
So
it's hard, Bella.
It
And
must
I'm
be
just
the
like,
hardest thing training.
It's very
in
hard.
this.
I'm saying, babe, be first. Like, be first. And then I said, babe, you wasn't first once. She's like, yes, I was. I said,
Yeah,
wasn't.
we were
I was
at-
like, can you just fucking take it and just listen and not fucking come back? My dad used to say, what the fuck did you do that for? And I go, because bang, slap,
Yeah.
get the fuck, don't back chat me. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, well, you always got an answer for something. Always.
the best ones
Just
do.
take it.
We-
Like the boys at the gym, I say, fucking do that. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say, babe, your hands are down.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Yeah. We were at breakfast this morning and she's obviously cutting weight to fight tomorrow. And she goes, just a bottle of, the way she asked was just so nice. Just if you could just get me a drink, you're like, your answer was the best.
Yeah, I said, no, babe.
That must be satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, I got no sympathy for people cutting weight because I've done it for 25 years. And I've had to lose 15 kilos over time, you know, and to make the weight. And I've lost 4 kilos in the sauna one stage, you know, and it's funny, like I see all these little things happen over the training camp and I'm like, babe, like, you gotta make weight. And it's like, yeah, but right. And then like today she's like, we got about, you know, some weight to lose. And I'm like, well, if you had done the work before, then maybe like it wouldn't be here, you know. And then they whinge about a couple of kilos.
Yeah.
Like it just like, and I get it, but like whinge to someone else because I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Because like I've done it, so I know how hard it is. It's ruthless. It's brutal. But you know, like in saying that, like I'll be there with her tonight. We're going to have a sauna tonight. I'll be there with her the whole time while she does this. And in the morning she's got to get up. We'll go and do it again.
Yeah.
But don't whinge about it.
Yeah.
Because whingers don't get nothing done, but like, you know.
Well, mate, we'll finish with our last couple of things. You know, I want to say, obviously, from start to finish, man, you know, obviously, mate, you're like a book of Harry Potter, man. There's so many chapters, you know, and I still think there'll be so many good, you know, so many more good ones, obviously, to come.
Like,
Is that because we're all flying? Am I
how,
saying?
how many layers have you got?
Yeah.
You're like an onion.
Yeah.
But on the topic of
Many
that,
layers.
Lukey, brother, what advice would you give to your younger self?
My advice to my younger self would be to believe in yourself, back yourself, and love yourself. You know, like, fuck, there's no ceiling. There's no ceiling on what anyone can do in this world. It's just the limits you put on yourself.
You're the epitome of getting knocked down 9 times, getting back up 10,
Yeah.
both inside the ring and outside of the ring, man. You know, and we Mate, I got so much love and respect for you, man. I really mean that.
Vice versa, boys.
Yeah.
I respect you, boys. It's been a pleasure. You know, we've both all had our struggles, and it's about trying to help the next generation. And
Definitely.
if someone can get something from this podcast, and fucking happy days. And you know, just keep going. If you can't get through the day, get through the hour.
Yeah.
Get through the hour by hour, and before you know it's the next day.
Yeah. Well, man, we want to obviously thank you for having us on, man. You know, it's fucking, I'd say it's been a ball. You know, it's obviously a much better ball than we used to had back in the day, man. So
A lot cheaper too. I remember one stage I was there. I think you were both there.
Yeah.
So I'll get it out. If I could put it all on the plate, rack them all up. And this is just me. I'm such a generous person. And I'm like, hey, have one. Girls don't even know these people. You want one? Yeah, sweet. I want one. All right. And then go back. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
All right, better get another one out. Have one. Like, and it's just like,
It was like he's like the genie with the Tim Tam.
Yeah,
Kept
yeah.
replenishing
they just
it.
keep coming out.
Yeah.
All right, but no, thank you for being our first guest, and
Brother.
he's really set the tone.
You really have, man. You really have, mate. So powerful. We took so much from it. The people at home would as well, man. But, man, we love you, brother.
I love you too, Bella. I love you, boys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, guys, stay tuned at home. Obviously, we'll be back again next week. If there's a guest that obviously you want on the show, leave it in the comments. Send us a DM. We'll get them on board. So, stay tuned, obviously, with this. You know, there's a lot to come. Let's get it.
Man.